Men are in love, women are in business. I've heard you guys say that. I've listened to your stories about it. I've asked the internet. I've plugged in that exact line. The internet is sure to tell me that it is not true, overgeneralization, blah, blah, blah. But what do the women say? Why exactly do they say it? Why do they think it? And how bad is it today? How can it be that way when women have equality, right? Equality. When they're strong and independent and they're boss babes. And I mean, there are so many of them are astronauts even. Oh my gosh. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Far From Eden. I guess we can look on the bright side of the fact that shame has just gone away, because the things that women will say, shameless. But then you get their confessions. This is a case in point.
Only date men with money. As a young single woman, you have two options. You can date men with money and you can date men with no money. This is my most problematic finance advice and something that none of the financial gurus are going to tell you. But who you pick as your partner is the most important financial decision of your life. Dating men with money is a massive shortcut into high net worth financial circles. The networking and connections are amazing. It's also the fastest way to get class mobility. I know this is taboo, but it's true. The opportunities, the connections, again, the class mobility that have come from dating men that have their bag is absolutely insane. And I do credit some of my career success to that. I know a lot of women don't talk about this. It's very taboo, but just don't waste your time on broke men. Only date men with money. As a young single woman, you have two
Seriously.
options. You can date men with money and you can date men with no
You won't
money.
shut up.
This is my
Oh, yeah. Well, that is what they'll just come right out and say. First of all, is it true? Yes, it's true. And it is evident when you look at the richest women in the world and how they got their money. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, yeah, they got it through divorce. But actually, the richest women in the world, not so much. And we're going to talk about where they got their money and go back to TikTok periodically to see what they're saying. And different women say different things, but isn't it really just the same as what the first woman said, except she understands really what I'm going to show you with the world's richest women? Now, you're partially right about that divorce thing. Actually, you're a lot right, because 67% of women who have high net worth got it through divorce. So I repeat that. So 67% of the women in the world who have a high net worth got it through divorce. That doesn't mean those are the only women that got their money from a man, right? Because sometimes husbands pass away. Sometimes fathers pass away. And it's astounding. I did not know. I would have said divorce as well. However, I don't know how to make that stop. We always have tech issues. It'll be smooth one day. So, the 10th richest woman in the world is Kang Sui Hing. I don't speak Chinese. The company is Sun Hung Koi Properties, and she is a widow. Her husband obviously started the company, etc. I can't tell you how many articles are out there for self-made female billionaires or self-made wealthy women. However, they're being tricky about it. You know, the propagandists, AKA journalists, whatever. They're being tricky about it because many times what I found researching this story is that some of the women who inherited their money then went on to invest or sell the company they inherited, which is such a, smart business decision, whatever, as far as the journalists say. But we have to be realistic about it and know that these women are ascending to that position of power in the company, much like you would as a royal. And much like you would as a royal, you're not really running things. You're a figurehead, and there are other people advising on investments and even making the investments for you. It's not really you. But, anyways, they will say that the woman did it through investments and smart business decisions and etc. And you dig a little deeper and you're like, oh, grandpa had a lot of money, right? And we'll see one of these women that is on both the world's richest women and America's richest women. I was like, nice try. So, yeah, that was the one they tried to pull it with. I'm sure if I compared lots of different articles, because this is a very popular thing to write about, it's like, why are you telling us the truth? Anyway, 9, Gina Reinhardt, Hancock Properties. Her father, that's where it came from. Simple. Number 8, Iris Fontbana, Antofagasta Copper Mining Company in somewhere in South America, I think Chile. She's a widow. He started the company, of course. Number 7, Abigail Johnson. She took over as CEO. One of the things I'm talking about. She took over as CEO. Sure, because she was so qualified. I mean, maybe she was. Who am I to know? I mean, except to look at the likelihoods. She took over as CEO. I didn't even write down what company because whatever. Oh, Fidelity. It's Fidelity. And she is known as the most powerful woman in finance and investing. That's the one I was talking about with, look at all these smart business decisions she's making and all these wise investments. It's like, yeah, the same people that her dad hired and facilitated in that company, the same people who are advising her. I mean, I could do it. I'm a college dropout, but you put me in that position with all these smart people. And I'm like, yes, do that. Yes. They're making decisions really for me. Sure, I could do that. God, I'm starting to sound like a communist. Inherited wealth. I don't have a problem with inherited wealth at all. What I have a problem with is women going out there and saying that they're boss babes, that they're all this capable, same as a man, but you don't see the evidence of that. And the excuse will be, oh, it's because of, thousands of years of oppression, right? And if we can't see ourselves in that role, it hasn't been shown to us in movies or this, that, or the other. It's like, yeah, like the guys have been shown that in a movie, therefore they go and do that. It's so ridiculous. If we have to be shown that we can be a certain thing, and we're not going to try to be that thing without seeing it in a movie, I don't think we should be whatever that thing is. Because it's not a role. I don't think we should be that anyway. Number 6, Laurene Powell Jobs. Apple and Disney. I'm sure you recognize Jobs, right? The widow of Steve Jobs. He pretty much was a giant in Apple. He made Apple go where it went. It was kind of like a little bit dead on arrival, competing with IBM. Steve Jobs had the panache, the pizzazz to go out there and make a brand out of it. And then Apple was cool again. And Lorraine, however they're pronouncing her name, Powell Jobs gets to benefit from that. Another thing that's important to notice about a lot of these women is so many of them are philanthropists. And I'm basically like, okay, that's giving the money away. Like the men were earning it and the women are giving it away. And you see that a lot with the wives of the businessmen and coaches and stuff like that, because they're the head of the nonprofit, right? And they're going to get paid as the head of the nonprofit. And what do they get to do? Basically, virtue signal and get paid for it. Perfect for us. And then we get to seem like we're just really, really good at business decisions and we're important. I think it's just throwing us a bone to keep us busy, honestly. It's like, let her do that. All right, let's see another modern woman telling the truth. Okay, this one's a dangerous snake. She's pretty. She seems more traditional, right? She even sounds more traditional. This is sort of that trad con, right? I am not a trad con. I may give that off. And if you only hear part of what I'm saying, you might think that, but no, I think they are snakes in the grass. I think they are covert. This one is covert. And I'm going to show you how I know that and why. And now that I'm saying it, you guys are probably going to be like, uh-huh. And a lot of you will know because you've had the world experience. You know how to spot them now. But unfortunately, there are too many men that still fall this exact type of woman because she's able to wrap up what she's actually doing, which is predatorial, with a sweet bow. That if you were to disagree with her, oh my God, I'm just all about family. No, you're not. So let's take a gander at this one.
People be like, she's a gold digger. She wants a guy with money. I'm trying to look for my husband and the father of my children. Why would I not want a guy that has a provider mindset? Why would I not want a guy that can provide financial stability for my future family? So, yeah, I'm going to make sure that whoever I am dating to be the father of my children and my husband, I'm going to make sure that he is financially stable so that my children
Financially stable. I'm going to make sure that he's financially stable for my family, my husband. Watch out for this way of speaking because these things are very possessive. I understand you could say, oh, this is my husband. Fine. But there are different connotations to using that verbiage. My husband and my children. I'm going to do this. Do I sound like a toddler when I start speaking that way? But she's wrapping it up in, I am such a family person. This is a responsible decision. She's trying to put a spell on you and make you think that she's responsible, that she's family minded, that she's smart, that she's reasonable. And this girl also, I don't know her, but this kind of girl talking like that is also going to give you the impression that she's always been this serious about it and she's always been this deliberate about dating. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. Hopefully, thanks to the internet, you have seen that chameleon thing that happens once they're done with their fun time. You know, in their earlier 20s at college, having hot girl summer and all that. And then they're ready to settle down. Now, I guess there are some girls out there who date deliberately for a good husband. Notice also, has she said anything about character? Not in this video. Not in this video. This video's all about the money. So I'm going to back it up just a hair because she says something about children, her children, that is just like shameless about the virtue. This is virtue signaling in disguise is what it is.
children don't suffer.
Oh,
People
so
be
my
like,
children
she's a
don't
gold
suffer.
digger. She wants a guy with money. I'm trying to look for
She
my
ends it on that.
husband and the father of my children.
She she ends it on, so my children don't suffer. Okay. I know it seems like I get lost in the minutia, but that's where the truth lies with women. We use our words specifically to give an impression to you or to the world, whomever, when there's actually something else there. So that my children don't suffer. Okay, there's the virtue signaling. I care about children. I love my children. I'm putting my children first. La, 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 la. Right? That can really dazzle a man who wants children and wants a woman who wants children and seems like she'll be a good mother. That's why she's doing that. She knows that. And she's like, well, I didn't lie. I mean, if you can dress up your gold digging, I guess it's not gold digging anymore. But so they won't suffer. I'm sorry. What is your definition of suffering? Is it not going on expensive vacations every year? Is it not having a brand new car every year? Is it not having a big McMansion? Is that what your idea of suffering is? Because you don't look like you're right now in any type of situation where you're suffering. I don't think she really knows what it is to suffer, except to not get everything she wants and not have luxury. She's not talking about her children right here. She's talking about herself. She's revealing herself. So this girl's expectations are going to be off the chart. And just like with all of them, you're never going to be good enough. The problem is that these ones trap the church guys and the guys who just are completely unaware. And that's the problem, is you don't know the danger of this type. And they're some of the worst. They really are. Probably mostly because they're covert. All right. Fifth richest woman in the world, Suzanne Clatton, BMW, and Atlanta Pharmaceuticals. Where did she get it? Her stepfather. Can you believe that? So her mother was married to the founder of BMW, right? And then he passed. The mother got it, and then it transferred to her. Number 4, Yang Huan Country Garden, which is as far as I can tell, a real estate company. Well, I mean, there has to be a lot of those in China because they're buying up all of America. And came from her father, inherited. Number 3, Jacqueline Mars of Mars Company. You know, the candy and all of that. It was from her family. The family. Grandpa. Number 2, Alice Walton. Of course, Walmart. And we know Sam Walton was her father. So that's where she got that. Number 1, Francois Betancourt Myers. L'Oreal. And that was from her grandfather, inherited. So those are the 10 richest women. They shift around a little bit. They shift around a little, from year to year, but it's basically the same thing. Basically the same women, and definitely the same reason, the same way they got there. It's just same. So we're going to go to America now and see, hey, how different is it? How many more are from divorce? And will it surprise you? Maybe. But let's check out another modern woman. All right. I don't know what to think about this one. I really don't know what to think about this one, but I had to leave her in. I had to, because I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you what I think of her. Okay, we'll see what she has to say, and then I'll tell you what I think. And you guys tell me in the comments if you agree.
Yes, some men like giving money to women like me. Here's why. For some men, earning money or creating wealth isn't the goal. It's already a given because of their professional success or family wealth or both. But sometimes with too much wealth comes a lack of structure or boundaries or challenges. And this is where a dominant woman comes into play. Specifically, a woman like me who can offer men the opportunity to experience spice and satisfaction through a particular financial dynamic. Yes, some.
So, okay. Men with a lot of money have the most options, right? The only demographic I can imagine she's speaking about is like the the guys who have inherited money and are really spoiled, and maybe they're into the party scene, and they, like she's talking about, they don't have a lot of structure, etc. So that is where this type of woman comes into play, which is admitting she's a predator. Let's just get that out of the elephant in the room. But honestly, like, I'm just like, do they? Do they though? Because my first instinct to translate this womanese is, I think you are lying. I think she's lying. I think she is saying this to make herself sound desirable and to maybe get clicks on TikTok, because I just don't think it's true. It's like the girls on the Whatever podcast who say things like, I've dated a billionaire. Have you? I find that hard to believe. There aren't just billionaires walking around willy-nilly, scrolling on Instagram to try to find an attractive woman. Maybe she's worked as an escort. Does that count? I don't know. But this one, I don't think has worked as an escort. And you don't need this to experience the spice. This one blew me away. I don't get it, but there's another one. There's another one just like that. A little different of a look. I'll show you guys her right now. A couple things about this one. First of all, read what it says on her video. Manipulate him into giving you money! Exclamation point. No shame. Just put it right out there. Is it any wonder men are walking away? And I'm like, keep talking, women. Keep saying it. That way, it won't be as hard for people like me to convince men what the truth is. It won't be as hard to red pill men. And it is hard to red pill them. To say, look, this is what it's like. This is what they can do. You'll be looking across from her at family court. You know, you have a danger of getting accused of all kinds of different things. But they're just like, no, not the sweet little lady I married. She's different. I found a unicorn. And I'm like, yeah, let me listen to her talk. And I bet you I can find some things that actually tell me otherwise. Anyways, let's see how this woman is going to manipulate him into giving her money. Because, like I said, the men with money tend to have way more options, since women are looking to, this explains, I mean, they are looking to 8s, 9s, and 10s, even the 4s, 5s, and 6s. Welcome to my living room. Anyway, even the 4, 5s, and 6s are dating the 8s, 9s, and 10s. They're not dating them. They're not even really in relationships with them. They think they are. Some of them are in situationships with them. But sometimes it's just a slow night. Thank God for Homath, who explains so much of this and why and how. He's really the best at explaining it. So let's hear what little Pixie here has to say.
But here's where feminine, artful communication comes into play. So the fun thing about being a feminine woman is that we get to have this fun play of words, and we get to use these sort of manipulation tactics, but not a bad or negative manipulation, but a positive manipulation.
It's a positive manipulation. It's positive. you're taking it the wrong way. We manipulate you because we love you. It's a positive one. Positive for whom?
So, what does that look like? Well, as I always say on here, you don't want to go to men with solutions. You want to present them with problems instead because they are Mr. Fix It by nature. So, let's say that you have a problem with your car. You need a new battery, you need an oil change, something in your car is not working properly, and you feel very safe with this man who has already vowed that if you need something, you are more than welcome to go to him to ask for help. So you could say something like, babe, my car has been giving me trouble. I really need a new battery, or I need my oil changed. What should I do? Ask him for advice for it because they love giving.
I've got advice. Sounds like get a new battery. Sounds like go change your oil. Look, here's the thing. The type of traditional roles, the actual traditional roles, not the 1950s baloney that we've been lied to about, not the 20th century traditional roles. No, not really post Seneca Falls around 1850 traditional roles, because they weren't. Women used to get things done in the home. Something was needed to be done, they did it, right? They didn't ask their husband, babe, the potatoes are ripe in the garden. What should I do? What? Like the basic things. We need water from the well, husband. What should I do? You get it done. And women used to have jobs that they needed to do for everybody to survive. And the husband needed to know he's going off to hunt. If he's working as the town blacksmith or cobbler or whatever it is, he can trust her. When he's out in the field or whatever, because we didn't used to like go off to work and be all separated. You know, it was a bad idea to leave the woman as sort of head of the household while he's off working for a boss somewhere, rather than himself and the family farm. Anyway, I know, Little House on the Prairie woman right here, but make a good argument against it. You know, maybe I'll listen. But it isn't this, oh, I need a new battery. Oh, la, 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 la. Fill up his car with gas. Why don't you? Go take his car for an oil change. Ever think of that? Handle the things that need to be handled so that he knows you're on top of those things. You can manage those things while he goes and does the hard stuff, the job, the responsibilities and stuff like that. That's a lot. And we need to be doing something to bring as much of the same amount of value as we can. And I say as we can, because I'm not sure that we absolutely can, but we can be valuable to him in keeping all his stuff handled, right? Keep the home fires burning. But let's hear more of her ever so wise advice.
Giving advice and let him come up with the solution to fix that. He may offer to pay for it or to do the manual labor of it, but either way, you haven't demanded or expected anything. You simply just requested for advice. Maybe for another example, maybe there is something that you've been desiring to purchase and it's not necessarily a problem and it's not necessarily a need, but maybe just something that you want, a more luxury. So it could be a new dress or a new pair of shoes. So you could artfully communicate by sending him or showing him the new dress and the new shoes that you've been having your eyes on.
Remember, this is manipulation for a positive something or other. It's all the only positive I'm seeing, positive, is that she's getting what she wants. And I don't understand how it's any different than a spoiled child trying to manipulate their parent. Hi, mommy, look at this toy. Isn't this a cool toy? wouldn't it be really good for me to learn with this toy? I would work so hard if I had this toy. Okay, lady, finish.
On. So you can say something like, "Oh, aren't these shoes so beautiful? I love them. You should buy them for me." You could even throw in there, "I want to wear them for you." So do you see how my energy is very light and playful with it? Because it's
Do you see how I'm very fake? She's talking completely differently right now to us. Why don't you just say you're being fake and you're putting on, they think femininity is some kind of act they can put on and take off depending on what they're trying to get. That is not what femininity is at all. And you just don't, speak like this and, hey, wouldn't I look so beautiful in these shoes? Are there men out here falling for this? Or are they just going along with it because it's more convenient than getting paying for it, so to speak, paying for it, the nookie directly? I'm like, this is not.
it's not necessarily a need, it's just a luxury. But by throwing in that, "Oh, I'll wear them for you," makes him feel more special in what he can give and provide.
Makes him feel more special. What? Look, what type of man, what type of high value man is she attracting with that kind of grammar? I'm just saying, like, you're not going to bring a woman like that with that manner of speaking to a function with a lot of highbrow people speaking that way. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't. My father, had money. He was a self-made man and he had money, and I grew up around these sorts of people. They don't speak like that. Their wives don't speak like that. Their children don't speak like that. They might now, since everybody's raised by daycare and things, but this is not the type of woman, even in the way she speaks. And none of these women get it. Maybe the occupation that Julia Roberts' character had in Pretty Woman might be okay, but no, lady, no, you're not. You're not one of them. Okay, we're gonna run through the richest women in America, and then I'm going to show you one of the actual hot ones who seems like she can speak and what she's saying. Is it different than the mid? I guess. Gosh, I sound like the Gen Z people. All right. So countdown. Number 10 in America, richest women. This is from Action News Jax, and it was actually April 30th of 2025. So this is as new and as accurate as we can have it right now. Number 10, Linda Stevens Greth and family, oil and gas from her father. He founded the company where she gets her money. Number 9, Mackenzie Scott. Sound familiar? That's Bezos's ex-wife. Obviously, Amazon and investments. Oh, I'm sure she made very intelligent investments after her divorce, but lots of philanthropy, giving it away, virtue signaling. And I'll tell you what, I think they give it away too. I think they give it away because they think it burns their ex. I think they do. I think they give it away for that reason. Oh my gosh. RFK's former running mate, whose name escapes me, totally think that's what she was doing. Couldn't figure out why she was spending so much money. Then I looked into her ex. That's probably going to be a whole other story. All right, number 8, Elaine Marshall and family. This is the Koch brother family. This was from her father-in-law because the husband passed, and it's a whole thing, but it's from her father-in-law. So they find a way to get it from the family tree, even by marriage and then extend it. Number 7, waiting for this one, right? Melinda Gates, Microsoft / Bill Gates. And that was divorce. Number 6, Marilyn Simons and family. And that is just from hedge funds. She was widowed. You just have to outlast them, right? You don't have to divorce them. Even better if you can outlast them. I'm kidding. Number 5, Miriam Adelson and family. That was casinos. That's the Sands casinos. And that was her husband. She was widowed. Number 4, Abigail Johnson. We talked about her before. Fidelity. Got it through her father. But yeah, the other one, it eliminated that. This one eliminated it. Tried to say it was by her own investments and stuff. Sorry, the American list eliminated that it was through her father. Totally eliminated it. Made it sound like it was exactly just from her. Nice. Number 3, Jacqueline Mars. We talked about her before. It's from her grandfather. Number 2, Julia Koch. Again, another Koch brothers deal. She's the widow of one of them. Doesn't matter. Number 1, Alice Walton. Walmart, from her father, Sam Walton. So it just keeps on going. All right, let's look at one of the pretty ones that actually I would say does have a chance. However, we don't know about filters, but we'll pretend it's not a filter. Each one of these women has said a little something different. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that, probably. Maybe not. Maybe you guys are like, no, they've all said the same thing. They want us for our money and they won't date us if we don't have it and we don't give it to them. Maybe, but hopefully I'm kind of showing you some of the differences. Maybe it doesn't matter. So this one, I love where I paused it. This might be, this one really gets, this one might be the most infuriating. Tell me what you guys think.
Okay, can you do a video on how to receive money from your boyfriend? This is very simple, very easy, and just very straightforward. In order for you to receive money from a man, you need to be, first of all, open and comfortable to receiving. And what do we mean by that? You have to present very feminine traits. Those traits is you basically have to be the damsel in distress.
You have to present. You have to fake. That is very similar to the last one we saw about you have to be the damsel in distress. You have to, my car needs a new battery, right? Damsel in distress. It's fake. It's fake.
In distress. Now, if you're not comfortable doing that, scroll. This video is not for you. But in order to activate those masculine instincts in a man, you have to appear as the damsel in distress. If you're not comfortable doing that, then again, this video is not for you. This advice is not for you. But in order to get what you want from men, you do have to play up to their fantasy. And every man wants to be the hero. Every man wants to come in and save the day, right? They all dream of that moment. So how are you going to achieve that? Well, you are going to present problems to him, okay?
I'll change it for you. I'll correct it for you. How are you going to take advantage of his good character? The goodness of men. We're not going to say men are so good. They always want to help. They always want to help things that are in need or are weaker than them. No, we're not going to give them any credit for it. We're going to take advantage of it. And here's how. Here's your how-to. For everyone to see.
And when I say present problems, they don't have to be big problems, okay? They don't have to be about to get your house taken away. I mean, you could go that far, it's up to you, but no, that's not necessary. You just play small. You have some bills to take care of this week. Maybe you didn't get paid. You really want to buy this really nice dress for your next date with him. You want to look good for him, but it's too expensive and you don't want to wait until it goes on sale. So, are you following? It will appeal to a masculine man who has a provider mindset, because as soon as they are presented with problems, they are going to instantly go into problem-solving mode. They are going to come up with solutions. And those solutions are going to be financial, especially if you've come to him with a financial problem. He's going to have a financial solution for you. So you want to present the problems, but you also want to show how those problems are really affecting you in your day-to-day life, okay? Because
make sure you give a real big sob story. Really play it up. Really make him feel sorry for you. Make him feel guilty if he doesn't help you out, if he doesn't pay for the thing or that's a spoiled child. It's a spoiled child. I cannot go on and hear her for 4 more minutes talking about all that. So let's go.
How much should your ideal man make in a year right now?
Oh, that's
What you
loud,
think
sorry.
gives you a good life?
Oh God, I feel like I'm gonna get judged for this one.
okay.
Okay, I would say at least 70.
How old are you?
I'm 22. Okay, I make about like 82, so hopefully a little bit over that. But if not, it's not a big deal.
So if they make less than you, would that turn you off?
No.
If they made 30K, would that turn you off?
No. Yes.
How much should your
There you have it. She said no, and she was lying. She was lying. We know she was lying. Of course she was lying. Why was she lying? Because she knows how bad it is. They know this is bad. That's why you have to present feminine, and you have to lie and fake and manipulate to get your way there. Remember, I read to you the richest women in the world and that they inherited their money. This kind of destroys the whole boss babe. They didn't inherit it from their mothers, did they? No. 67% of the wealthy women in America, in the world, got it through divorce. The facts are very inconvenient for feminism, aren't they? Because their narrative of boss babes and things women actually want and who women actually are, a lot of these women are messing it up by telling the truth. So if you're new here, if you're new to Red Pill, please, this is who we are. And we are all like this. It's just a matter of how much self-correction we have done and how much character has grown to overcome it. Okay? So that sweet, sweet young thing that used to be, that was your bride, who didn't have any of this in her. Yes, she did. Find out how she got rid of it. If you're determined to try to find the needle in the needle stack. Otherwise, she'll be winning cash and prizes from you. On that note, feed your souls, protect your peace. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.